Every year, thousands of people retire to Greenville, South Carolina, chasing that southern charm, affordable living, and those beautiful Blue Ridge mountain views. And after helping people retire in Greenville for the past 6 years, not only do I see one big mistake retirees keep making that can completely ruin their move, but we'll also chat about some smaller things that can cause big regrets too, like thinking you absolutely have to have a 55 and up community or getting a little carried away with all that gorgeous land we have here. But stick with me, because that biggest mistake, it's one that just sneaks right up on people, and I want to make sure you don't fall into that trap. Okay, y'all, the first thing I want to talk about might surprise you a little bit. So many folks come to me saying they just have to have a 55 and up community, and honestly, I have to gently talk them out of it almost every time. Here's the thing, and I say this with total love, we don't have a whole lot of those communities here, and truthfully, you probably don't want what few we do have. When people tell me, oh, Meredith, we just love the villages down in Florida, I usually say, well, if that's what you're looking for, maybe Florida is where y'all need to be. But let me explain why this is actually such good news for you. See, what folks don't realize about living here in South Carolina is that you're going to make friends everywhere you go. At the grocery store, if you go to church, walking your dog around the neighborhood, even driving your car. That's just how we are here. Southern hospitality isn't just something we put on postcards. It's genuinely how we live our lives. Now, I totally understand why you might think you need an age-restricted community. Up north, out west, those big communities offer all sorts of activities and built-in friendships. That makes perfect sense. But here's what I've learned after all these years selling real estate. The few 55 and up communities we have had in the past can actually feel a bit isolating compared to our wonderful mixed age neighborhoods. Instead, what I love showing people are our established neighborhoods where folks actually sit on their porches, wave to each other, and naturally gather for conversations. You'll get that social connection you're looking for, plus you'll have the energy and helpfulness that comes from having younger families around too. When you need someone to help with technology, or maybe some yard work, or carrying some heavy furniture, having neighbors of all ages is actually a real blessing. The key is finding neighborhoods where people genuinely interact with each other, and we have plenty of those. That's the real South Carolina retirement experience, and it's so much more authentic than being stuck behind some age restriction. If you do have your heart set on a 55 and up community, we have two newer ones. One is by Del Webb and one is being built by Lennar, and you can contact me and I can give you all the information on those. But let's move on to our second biggest mistake. The second biggest mistake is one that I see retirees make a lot. I see folks get so excited about buying way more house and land than they actually need or want to maintain. And listen, I get it. People come here from more expensive markets up north and out west, and they're amazed at what they can afford. We can get 3 acres and a 4,000 square foot house for what our little condo costs back home. Yeah, you actually can. But here's where I gently pump the brakes. Let's think through what more actually means for your day-to-day life in retirement. A 4,000 square foot home means higher utility bills, more cleaning, more repairs, and honestly, maybe it's more rooms you're paying to heat and cool but might rarely use. All that gorgeous land, 2 or 3 acres, does sound absolutely dreamy until you're facing lawn care and landscaping in our warm, humid climate. Grass grows fast here, trees need pruning, and maintaining all that property can become a full-time job. And here's what breaks my heart. About a year later, I'll get calls from folks saying, Meredith, we love it, but it's just way too much for us and we want to sell. So at that point, you don't have a lot of equity built up yet, so selling becomes expensive rather than profitable. Here's my advice, and it comes from watching this happen too many times. Think about your actual lifestyle. How many bedrooms will you really use? Do you want to spend beautiful Saturday mornings doing yard work? And maybe you do. Or would you rather be exploring downtown, hitting the farmers markets, visiting grandchildren, or enjoying all the wonderful things Greenville has to offer and maybe going for a bike ride. There are so many smart alternatives, smaller lots in established neighborhoods, homes with low maintenance landscaping, or even townhomes where exterior maintenance is handled for you. You can absolutely still get space and privacy here without becoming overwhelmed by your property. Next, let's talk about something that might not seem important until you really need it. Choosing a location that's too far from medical care. I can tell you, Greenville has some absolutely excellent health care. We have both Prisma Health, which is the state system, and Bon Secours, which is the Catholic healthcare system. We're really blessed with quality medical care here. But here's something to keep in mind. We're growing very fast, and medical facilities tend to be concentrated in certain areas. You might find a beautiful home 20 or 25 minutes outside of one of our beautiful towns, and that drive seems perfectly fine when you're house hunting. But as we continue growing and we keep making those top 10 lists for places people want to move, traffic patterns are going to continue to change. That peaceful 20-minute drive could become 45 minutes during busy times of the day in a few years, and with specialist appointments sometimes taking weeks to get, you don't want a simple doctor's visit turning into an all-day adventure because of traffic and distance. Now, I'm not saying you need to live right next to the hospital, but I do encourage people to think realistically about how medical appointments work as we get older. You might have physical therapy, specialist checkups, routine screenings, picking up prescriptions. These just inevitably become more regular parts of your routine. The good news is you can be strategic about this, and I can help you. Look for areas with reasonable access to medical facilities without having to fight major traffic bottlenecks. Consider proximity to pharmacies and urgent care centers too. And here's something smart to think about. Factor in our future growth patterns. An area that's convenient today might become much less so as Greenville continues expanding. But with a little planning, you can position yourself beautifully for years to come. Next, let's talk about transportation. Even when you find a great location near healthcare, there's another thing that can sneak up on folks: not thinking about future walkability and transportation options. Now, this is the South, and like much of our region, we are built for cars. Many of our neighborhoods don't have sidewalks, and public transportation is more limited than what you might be used to up north, although it is improving. That's totally fine when you're healthy and comfortable driving everywhere, but let's think ahead 10 to 15 years. Here's something I always ask my clients to consider. Driving abilities can change as we get older. Maybe night vision isn't quite what it used to be, or your reaction times start to slow down, or medications could affect driving. If your entire lifestyle depends on being behind the wheel, you might be setting yourself up for feeling isolated later on. But here's some good news that most people don't know about. Greenville actually does have some transportation options beyond what you might expect. GreenLink, our bus system, offers senior discounts, just 75 cents instead of the regular $1.50, plus veteran and para transit service. They connect shopping centers, doctor's offices, and community centers. What I encourage you to do is choose neighborhoods where you can walk to at least some things you need. Maybe you're near a shopping center, maybe you're within walking distance of restaurants, or close to a bus route. Downtown and near downtown neighborhoods often offer more walkable options, and they're simply delightful. Even if you're not ready to give up driving anytime soon, having alternatives available gives you independence and peace of mind. You want to choose a location where you can age comfortably in place, not one that might force you to move again when your mobility changes. Okay, y'all, we're talking about Greenville, South Carolina, and here's something that catches people off guard pretty often. Folks visit Greenville without experiencing our climate year-round. If you visit here in April or May, when everything's blooming and it's a gorgeous 73 degrees, you're going to fall in love with sitting on patios, strolling downtown, enjoying all of our wonderful outdoor festivals and farmers markets. Then you're going to move here and July hits, and it can be a real wake-up call. We typically hit the late 80s to low 90s from June through August, maybe even into September, but it's not just the heat, it's the humidity that can catch you off guard. We're talking 70% humidity or more on most summer days, and that beautiful outdoor lifestyle you fell in love with during your spring visit, it can shift during our summer months. Your electric bills are going to reflect your cooling cost, and you can expect a higher bill than you might see if you live in a cooler climate during the summer prior to moving here. Afternoon thunderstorms look really pretty from the inside, but they can cancel your outdoor plans. Those afternoon thunderstorms that look so pretty from inside, well, your outdoor plans might get canceled, although they do pass through pretty quickly. That beautiful deck or patio you adored during your house hunting trip, you might not use it much in the heat of the day from June through August. But here's the thing, and this is important, it's not necessarily a deal breaker. It's just about setting the right expectations. So many of our happiest retirees have adapted beautifully by shifting to morning activities during the summer, embracing our wonderful indoor venues, and planning outdoor activities for fall, winter, and spring. The mistake isn't moving here despite the summer heat. The mistake is making such a big decision based only on perfect weather conditions. You really need to know what summer feels like if you're planning on gardening, spending lots of time outdoors, or living that active lifestyle you've been dreaming about. My advice? Come visit in July or August. Experience what it feels like to walk from your car into the store. See how the humidity affects your comfort level. Many people find they do love the seasonal rhythm here. It's not about finding problems. It's about making an informed decision that'll make you happy year-round. We keep making top 10 lists for places people want to move in the U.S., and that is so exciting. But it also means Greenville isn't going to stay exactly like it is today. Which brings us to mistake number 6, underestimating Greenville's growth. Now, I love our growth. It brings so many wonderful things, but I want you to understand that the infrastructure, traffic patterns, cost of living, and even that small town community feel are all evolving pretty rapidly. So what does this mean for your retirement? Well, that quiet little road you fell in love with could become a busier thoroughfare. That cozy, affordable restaurant might get a bit pricier. That easy drive to your doctor could take longer in a few years. Housing prices, yes, they're rising as more people discover how special this place is. But here's the flip side, and it's really exciting. Growth also brings improved amenities, even better healthcare options, more cultural activities, and yes, increased property values for those who choose wisely. The smart thing is understanding how to position yourself to benefit from all this growth rather than being frustrated by it. I love helping my clients get established in areas that will stay desirable and convenient as we continue growing. We can look for neighborhoods with good infrastructure that can handle the increased traffic and areas where growth will boost property values rather than create headaches. Here's what I always ask. Where do you want to be in a city that might be a bit bigger in 10 years? How will these changes affect your daily routine, your home's value, and your quality of life? This isn't about avoiding growth. Goodness, no. It's about being smart and strategic. Let's choose locations and home features that'll work wonderfully for you as Greenville continues evolving, and think about how that development might affect your specific area in positive ways. Okay, y'all, while we're talking about choosing the right home and community, let's talk about something really important. Choosing the right person to guide you through this process. You need someone who truly understands retirement priorities, not just someone with a license and a bright smile. You need a realtor who knows how Greenville's growth patterns will affect different neighborhoods, who understands healthcare access, and who can guide you through all the unique challenges of relocating for your retirement. Look for someone who asks about your long-term needs, your health considerations, and most importantly, your lifestyle priorities. You need someone who understands that this isn't just about finding any house. It's about finding the perfect place for this next wonderful chapter of your life. In a rapidly growing market like ours, local knowledge becomes so much more important. You need someone who knows which areas are positioned for positive growth and which ones might become problematic as traffic increases and development changes things. Most importantly, you want someone who listens to you, respects your timeline, and treats you like the wonderful, experienced person you are. This is such an important decision, and you deserve someone who takes the time to get it right with you. So, what is the biggest mistake of all? You made it. It's not about the house, it's not about the community, and it's not even about our summer weather. It's about how folks approach this whole move in the first place. The number one mistake I see, treating the move to Greenville like booking a vacation. Here's what happens, and honestly, I've seen this before, and it just kind of breaks my heart. People come to Greenville in April when all the flowers are blooming and it's a perfect day downtown. Everybody's outside. You're just here soaking it all in. You spend 3 days looking at houses, fall head over heels in love with our beautiful city, and make an offer before the plane ever takes off. I understand this. I'd probably do the same thing. When Greenville puts on her spring dress, she is absolutely gorgeous and it's easy to fall in love. But this is what I call vacation mode, and it can be a little different from retirement planning. Here's what folks miss during that perfect April visit. They never sit in traffic on Woodruff Road during a Tuesday afternoon thunderstorm. They never experience what 90-degree weather with high humidity feels like in July when they're hoping to enjoy their backyard in the afternoon. They never test out our healthcare system or experience the real social rhythm of year-round community life. By August, I'm getting calls from frustrated people. The heat is affecting their comfort more than they expected. That cute 15-minute drive downtown is now taking 35 minutes during rush hour, and the retirement dream doesn't quite match the daily reality. And then there's the financial part, which just really is the hardest one to stomach. Moving costs, realtor fees, temporary housing while looking for something back home, plus any loss you might take selling your Greenville house. It can go into the tens of thousands of dollars. But honestly, the money isn't the worst part. The disappointment of thinking you've found your perfect retirement spot only to discover it wasn't what you expected, that's really heartbreaking. Here's what I've learned. People who visit us in multiple seasons and really experience different sides of Greenville tend to be so much happier with their decision long term. So here's my gentle advice. Don't rush this process. Come visit us in July to experience the heat. Stay with us in November to see how the community feels in fall. Experience what our milder winters are like. Talk to people who actually live here year-round, not just other folks who are visiting. See how traffic really works on a regular Tuesday afternoon. Understand what healthcare is like when you actually need it. This move isn't a vacation. It's your life, and it deserves to be taken seriously and done thoughtfully. I'm not here to discourage you, but rather encourage you. Partner with me to help you make an awesome decision. We've gone through just a few of the mistakes I have seen people make, and if you're thinking of retiring here in Greenville and don't want to make these same mistakes and want to work with someone who knows the area and has already helped countless people retire here, then go ahead and reach out to me with my information on the screen down below. Send me an email. We'll book an introductory conversation so that I can learn more about you, your lifestyle, and what's important to you. If you're doing your research, make sure you watch last week's video where I ranked some of the best and worst neighborhoods to live in Greenville. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.